Joel D'Souza, and congratulations on the Aam Aadmi Party, and it's good that you guys have started it. You guys have the guts to do it, but unfortunately I need to add to the criticism, so please bear me on that. It seems that you have too much confidence on the Aam Aadmi. You are assuming that every Aam Aadmi is very intelligent and every Aam Aadmi is very wise. At least I don't believe that. At least even 50% of my country is, imandar. If you go for something like a civil disobedience movement, you're gonna push the country into anarchy yourself. I can give you one example how. If you ask everyone to stop paying their bills, that is going to spread. You're assuming that everyone in Delhi pays their bills and uses the power properly, according to what they are using. That's not the case. Once this anarchy spreads, they stop paying the bill, cash flow falls, state board falls, the grids fall, the whole cash flow system is upside down. Now you have a country whose economic system has failed. If you go behind Reliance or you go behind any corporation in any country, the whole economic system fails. No matter how much army we have or whatever, this thing is going to go way, way beyond our comprehension. What happens when a country as big as India with more than 1.2 billion people fail? It's just going to be massive anarchy. I don't believe that Arvind Kejriwal or yourself, a few handful of people are the intellectual heads of the whole world or something like that. I think you guys should just maybe try it a bit more carefully. And that puts to another question is that what most of the people are asking because of all these things is that, are you guys really smart enough to implement? You say that you're going to do anti-corruption and all these things, but how exactly are you going to do that? Like, if I'm a person living in, say, Mumbai somewhere, I'm not very educated. All I want to know is I'm going to get my ration at the end of the month. I have not done it. But how are you going to safeguard me from not getting bullied or corrupt people taking money off me? Now, I want to know that from you, but I haven't seen anything smart in the form of, you have newspaper, you have media, that you have explained your party policies and how we are going to implement some of these basic things. That is going to show the Aam Aadmi what kind of intellectual people are there. So it's like there's a lot of talk that we will not let corruption and all happen, but how? If you can even show a few of those things. And the other thing is that why do you need only the Aam Aadmi Party? There are many Aam Aadmis around India. Because you're only going to start from Delhi, it just shows that you are a bit low on confidence. I understand it's a very big thing. But why don't you want people, say someone down in Kerala or Bhubaneswar, some individuals, independents standing up? Now what do they want to know, like me? I mean, someday hopefully I'm going to get into the political ladder. What I want to know is, how does the constitution work? How does the MLAs work? How do MPs work? How can I make a difference in my local, thing? Now, for that I don't need to be part of the Aam Aadmi Party, but it's our duty as part of the Aam Aadmi Party to give the information to the people. Whole of India works on only one thing called misinformation. It's all misinformation. People don't know how to use their electricity, they don't know where to pay their bills, they don't know passport ke liye kahan jana hai. It's like there are middlemen. So the whole country, India is full of only middlemen. And then you told about, nuclear power. I don't think you should be so dismissive about it. You are assuming that people understand the ratifications. Everyone here will have a car. They all want to come in a car. They want petrol. So petrol kahan se aayega? The country should get it from somewhere. You go after Reliance and Tata, we are not going to get it. The government doesn't have the money to get it. So before you start questioning everyone in that sector, you need to... And these businesses are not all corrupt. They don't all want to be corrupt. Like, I want to do business in India, but I have to go to so many corrupt people. Inadvertently, I also become partly corrupt. So it's like, you shouldn't just be going against all of one forces, but even helping them. So even the businesses and the business
Can you
people...
shorten the question, please?
No, so not to cut your criticism short, but it essentially I think you've touched on a lot of detail and a lot of bigger, wider...
My name is Prithviraj Sahu. I am from Odisha. भारत का नागरिक हूँ मैं और मैं राइट टू इन्फॉर्मेशन एक्टिविस्ट हूँ। क्योंकि हम जो कर रहे हैं वो देश के लिए करें, समाज के लिए करें, इसके लिए क्लैपिंग की मैं देश के लिए कर रहा हूँ तो ज़्यादा कर रहा हूँ। That should not be a part of the receiving end. मैं मिलिट्री स्कूल में पढ़ा, 10 साल की उम्र में सैनिक स्कूल भुवनेश्वर में पढ़ा। I passed out and I run a charity called Atma Samman Trust, which partly answer his question that हम लोगों गांव में जाते हैं, स्कूल्स में जाते हैं, बच्चों से देश, समाज और हमारे देश में जैसा नेशनल फ्लैग है, नेशनल एंथम है, किस तरह से लोग चलते हैं, किस तरह से समाज में काम होता है, इस सब के बारे में हम बात करते हैं। और मिलिट्री स्कूल में स्पेशली मैं सैनिक स्कूल से पढ़ा और मिलिट्री में हमारे अभी भी 13,500 आर्म फोर्सेस ऑफिसर शॉर्टेज है. इंडिया लैक्स अराउंड 13,500. तो अब जब मैं नवंबर में गया था, आई रोट टू ऑल द 24 सैनिक स्कूल्स इन इंडिया टू राइट टू इंफॉर्मेशन एक्ट टू get the numbers, how many students are getting and how many people are going to the defense. And now 7 RTAs are go to the Ministry of Defense. So ये हम चैरिटी के थ्रू वो करते हैं. उड़ीसा से स्टार्ट किया मैंने, 1 साल हुए हैं. So देश के लिए हम कर रहे हैं, तो इसके लिए हमें ये सोचना नहीं कि हम देश के लिए करें तो मैं ज़्यादा कर रहा हूँ या मैं बहुत कुछ कर रहा हूँ तो मुझे अवार्ड मिला चाहिए, ये नहीं. The whole motive of service is you are doing it selflessly. And प्रशांत जी, आपसे मैं एक सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ. सोनिया गांधी wanted to become the Prime Minister of India. Unluckily she could not. There was a clause in Citizenship Act 19.
ऐसा कोई क्लॉज नहीं.
मैं पूछ रहा हूँ आपसे कि कुछ something happened. So I want to know what exactly why she could not. And now राहुल गांधी को प्रोजेक्ट किया गया है कांग्रेस के प्राइम मिनिस्टर कैंडिडेट के लिए. सो उसके सिटीजनशिप और हमारे जो संविधान है, कानून के दायरे है, हाउ दैट विल अफेक्ट.
I think there are two big questions here. So
सोनिया गांधी प्राइम मिनिस्टर बन सकती थी, कोई दिक्कत नहीं था. सिर्फ क्योंकि बीजेपी ने ये इशू बहुत जोर की उठाया कि भाई फॉरेन ओरिजिन की है, देयरफॉर an Italian person who was Italian national and may now be a naturalized Indian citizen, उसको प्राइम मिनिस्टर नहीं बनना चाहिए इस देश का प्राइम मिनिस्टर. ये बहुत वो इस वजह से then she backed out of that for political reasons, not because there was any legal problem. Rahul Gandhi can certainly become the Prime Minister. There is no legal problem with that. That he will not become is a different matter because Congress party has no chance in the next election. But there is no legal impediment. Now this questions that you had raised.
सर, एक सोनिया गांधी के आपने जो बोला, I got a copy of letter from the RTI. It says that I'll just read you out quickly.
So you can cover that after the
No,
talk. So I think
let everybody
okay.
listen. It's
I think we should
So,
not be discussing Sonia Gandhi.
no.
No,
Because it's a part
if you
of
can do it
the.
briefly, because there's a big question.
This letter was written to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam by Janata Party President Subramanian Swamy, and he says that in particular in this case, Ms. Sonia Gandhi, she is subject to the provision under Section 5 of the Citizenship Act, a reciprocal disqualification to be the Prime Minister of the country since she is Italian. It's a copy here. if you-
Subramaniam Swamy का कहना है, but she
Yeah,
is not
that's
right.
what I'm
He is
just
not
clarifying.
right.
Okay, thank you.
Civil disobedience will promote anarchy. We are not saying that there should be civil disobedience on everything. We are saying civil disobedience on a very specific thing, and that also we are saying that without any violence it should not. All that may happen is that people may come and disconnect your electricity. Nobody should. They should be prepared to suffer for that lack of electricity, but there should not be any coercive measures taken by people. That is not, in my view, that is not going to promote people to stop paying all their dues or to start violating the laws and everything. We are promoting this idea of civil disobedience on electricity and water bills because of a specific reason where we have found that electricity and water, and these are issues which really affect the common person, that electricity and water tariffs are high because of massive corruption in those sectors. So therefore we are promoting this. This is only a measure of bringing focus on this corruption in this sector, how it is affecting the common person, and also creating or trying to build some strength in every common person to be prepared to suffer a little for standing up for a public cause. So I don't think it is going to promote anarchy. Then you said, why not focus on other states, that focusing on Delhi shows a lack of confidence. You see, this is a new party. We are trying as fast as we can to set up our party organization in as many states as possible, as fast as possible. But despite that, there are still a few states in the country where we do not have much of a party organization in place. It will take time to do that. I mean, for a group or a movement which started with a very few people, we have grown considerably, but that still does not mean that we have grown enough to match the Congress party or the BJP in terms of their party organization across the country. That we may be able to do so in future is a different thing. So that is why our politics is also a matter of strategy. If we set up candidates in, say, Kerala or Tamil Nadu, etc., and we do very badly, it provides a setback for the rest of the people in the country. But if we set up candidates in Delhi and we do well in that election, that builds enormous confidence among the rest of the people in the country. So it's also a matter of strategy. You have to strategize your approach properly.
I'd say one thing to everyone. When the child is born, let him crawl before asking him to run.
Yes.
So Aam Aadmi Party is a 4-5 months old party. So let us crawl first and then ask us to run.
The thing is, if you're moving in baby steps, the adults will come and stample over you.
No, but that's the way normally you grow. I was baby, you were baby, and now you are a man and asking questions, and I'm answering. So we all have been baby.
Then how will we control corruption? That we have been saying for so long, that there will be, it's all there in our, if you see any of our speeches, etc., that we will set up this citizens' charters, we will enforce a law which will mandate citizens' charters in every public authority, in every organization, so that they will have to specify the time within which they will deal with the public in everything, wherever there is interface with the public. If they don't do that within that much time, people can complain to them, to an officer of the Lokpal who can punish those officers. Besides, we will promote as much transparency, proactive transparency as possible in all public authorities. So these measures will ensure that people are harassed, are not really harassed by corrupt public officials. That's at least the best that we can think of doing that.
But the common people, when they think, right, they see no matter who is at the top, even though you have your head in the right place, but you're going to deal with the same machinery down.
No, the machinery will change. It won't be the same machinery.
Lokpal will change.
That whole machinery will change. Their whole thinking, approach, working will change once they see that they will be punished if they do not do these things.
There are so many job seekers to take on the job.
Then you said about nuclear energy. You see, it's all right that everybody wants a car, everybody wants an air conditioner, etc. But if everybody had an air conditioner, everybody had a car, this world would go up in smoke. And therefore we need to rethink our whole model of development, our whole model of society, our aspirations, etc. We cannot go. If everybody were to live as the average person in the United States, then the whole world would go up in smoke in another 50 years maximum. So, nuclear energy, see, I am against nuclear energy, but there may be people in favor of nuclear energy, fine, so long as they put it up in their backyard. What I am opposing is, why should somebody come and set up a nuclear plant in my backyard if I am opposed to it, if the majority of the people in this area are opposed to it, why should somebody force a nuclear power plant on them? That militates against the principles of democracy as we understand democracy. Democracy means rule with the consent of the people.
But the same people are asking for energy security.
So then they will agree to a nuclear power plant also. If they don't agree, then they don't.
So isn't that the catch-22? You are expecting people to...
So, but what happened in Fukushima? Now all the people in the Fukushima earthquake, now those people are in danger.
So